Which side are you on? This is the Daily Dozen, presented by Champions Round.
What's up, everyone? Happy Thursday. I'm so excited. I'm ready for the weekend. We are back with another slate of Daily Dozen. I am joined by Eagle Dan FF. How are you doing? Has training camp news drove you as crazy as it has for me this week?
Yeah, I've been doing great. I think, we're in full swing in the preseason. We got, Patriots and Panthers fighting each other like it's Mortal Kombat. So that's always fun. And yeah, just seeing, tonight we have a decent game with the Bears and the Seahawks. So we're going to check to see how everyone does. So I'm excited.
All right, let's get into it. We have another slate. If you guys want to play against us, finally, I've been so excited to start these NFL Daily Dozen games because we all know how much I love the MLB, which is not a lot. Let's get into it. We have is zero. Make sure you download the app Champions Round in the App Store. If you use the code Daily Dozen if you're a first-time user, you get a free entry. So turn $12 into $1,200, or you start winning at $7. So it increases from there. And we got Bears versus Seahawks. Two not very exciting. These are not teams that anyone's like, yeah, I can't wait for the Bear season, or yeah, Seahawks. Big year for the Seahawks, right? Going to the Super Bowl. No. All right, we'll jump right into it with the first one. We have Bears versus Seahawks. Total points is 39.5. It did open at 40.5, so that has come down. What are you thinking here?
I don't know what the odds makers are thinking, because I wouldn't put like the starters at this point total. So I'm definitely not putting the backups at this point. So I don't think, Nathan Peterman versus, Jacob Eason is going to score this many points. I mean, like you said, they're two not great teams to begin with. So I just don't see how they're going to get to this point total. So I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I'm a little torn here. I know that that's the right call. That's where the money is leaning as well. But part of me thinks this is just going to be a shitstorm. Like, I could see this being one of those games where, there ends up being a lot of points scored. Chicago scored 19 in the first one, Seattle 25. Both had more points coming in the second half. I don't know. I'm torn. I either want to do, ride all the unders or all the overs. I don't know how bratty I want to be today, but right. I'm with you. I think 39.5 is a lot. So let's take the under. Yeah. I don't love it though, because these preseason games, it's really hard to be like, oh, here are the facts and why you should do this. I don't, we don't have a lot of that to go off of. All we know is we have two bad teams.
Yeah. I think you are correct though. It's either going to go one of two ways. It's going to be like a 3-6 game or like a 54-55 game. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm leaning more towards the 3-6 game, but.
And I do think most of these points will probably come from, this is first half. So most of the points came from the second half. We've got total first half points at 20.5. I'm going to go under this number. What are you thinking?
Yeah, under.
Okay.
Under.
Yeah. Seattle Seahawks, total points, 21.5. So again, kind of depends if you're riding the overs or the unders. I'm torn here. Do I save myself by taking the under 39.5 and maybe go over these two numbers? Thinking about doing that, what do you have for total points, 21.5?
Yeah, I'm going pretty much probably going all unders on the points for this game. Like I said, I just don't think. I mean, Drew Lock isn't even playing because of COVID. I mean, Geno Smith's probably going to get a series or two, and then it's going to go to the backups immediately. So I just don't see them getting to this point total.
God, this game is going to be so sloppy. It's actually funny. We should all watch this game on what you shouldn't do during football games, I bet.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Chicago Bears. That's at 18.5. You're going to ride the under on that as well?
Under, yep. Under.
Okay. Mr. Geno Smith, 100.5 passing yards. This is where I'm at. I think it could go over if he stays in. The Bears gave up a lot of passing yards their first preseason game. So I'm going to go over here, actually.
Right. I think this is a classic trap one because by all accounts, like you said, the Chicago, passing defense is really bad. It really just depends how long he's in. But I think this is gonna be one of those things where he's gonna look good for a series and then he's gonna sit. So he's not gonna be able to get to this point total. I mean this yard total. So I'm gonna go under on this. But if he plays two or more series, it's gonna be over. But I think he only plays one. So I'm gonna go under here.
Yeah. You're right. So maybe go with my gut, as I alluded to at the beginning of that question. All right. What do you think with our buddy Trevor? Total passing yards 107.5. These are these do feel very trappy because these numbers were all set much lower for the first preseason game. And now they're like, oh, let's trick you. Like, it's not even that much of a trick. Like,
let's trick you. Let's see if you're paying attention now. I mean, I'd probably go over here just because I think he's going to be in long enough to get there. Not that that's saying much because, probably.
You're muted, Dan. I cannot hear you. There you are.
Sorry. I said, yeah. So I'm. It is like an either or thing, but I think he's going to stay in long enough to get the over on this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that, and you also saw what they did, gave up nearly 100 to both Pickett and Rudolph. So, I mean, he shouldn't have a problem going over, at least getting that 100. It's probably going to miss by a little. I'm talking myself out of it, to be honest. I might take the under on this. I just talked myself out. Okay. Up next, friend of the show, one of our guys, Bo Melton, total receptions, 1.5. It would be sacrilegious for either of us to take the under, so you better stay over here.
Oh, it's going to be way over. It's two catches. It has to be over. It has to be over. There's no way that he's going to get one catch. If he gets one catch, I'm quitting the show. I'm not playing anymore.
Okay.
But
you heard it here first. Dan is quitting the show.
No, but like in training camp, like you saw, in the first preseason game how he had some good speed. But reports out of camp are his hands aren't the greatest, so I expect him to be not fed exactly, but I mean he'll get his opportunities in this game. So I think he'll pick up at least 2 catches. So I'm going to go over.
Yeah. I'm with you there. His, the preseason opener, whatever, however you want to word it there, 2 for 47. I could see him going over that 47 too. Even if he does, maybe it's just 2. I think we get a little bit more fire out of our Mr. Bo Melton, friend of the show. If you watch every day is draft day. Now we have Daz Newsome, which is an awesome name. He is set at total receptions, also 1.5. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking basically the same thing I said for Bo. Like he'll play, a lot in the second half where we expect, like you said, most of the points to come in. So, I mean, 2 catches is really not that high of a number to beat. So I expect him to go over as well.
All right. Next one. We've got Ebner. Total rushing yards, 26.5. Our friend Jason Gold, his lock of the day is to go under this. I almost want to make my lock of the day to go. I mean, he said under. I want to go over. I think we see a lot of him again. We did last time. He had 31 last preseason game. I don't think 26.5 is a lot. Like he really just needs to get the ball twice. So for me, I like the over here by a mile.
Yeah, I like the over here as well. I mean, the Bears know what they have in David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert at this point. So, he performed pretty well, Abner did, in the first preseason game. So I expect him to get, even more carries than he did in the first game to really see what they have with him. So I really think that this would be a really good shot at being the over for this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. They're going to want to keep Mr. Montgomery and Khalil very healthy. Speaking of Khalil, he's only at total rushing yards 21.5. I think I might ride the over on this one as well. How are you feeling?
I'm going to go the under here. I think, like I said before in the Ebner one, I think that they know what Khalil offers at this point. I think, they want to keep the people that they're going to depend on during the season healthy, and they want to see what they have in Ebner. So really, I don't see, Herbert playing a ton of time. So I don't see him getting to this yardage total. So I'm going to go under for this one.
Yeah, and they might want to keep him a little bit more under wraps because, we might see Khalil end up being the lead in that backfield at some point this season. There might be this switch that goes on. So this one's going to be a little tight for me. I definitely could see it go under, and I get the reasoning behind that. Darnell Mooney, who has become an absolute darling in the fantasy football space. I haven't seen where his ADP is now, but it's probably something absurd. His total receiving yards are 13.5. I mean, For me, this is like kind of a smash over too. This only takes one play. We saw it happen with Darius Slayton in the Giants preseason game. What are you thinking?
Oh, this is definitely an over. Like you said, it takes one play. In the first preseason game, he had one catch for 26 yards.
Okay.
So that's almost double what this
Done.
is.
Bye.
So, I mean, Moody's going to go downfield. They're going to take shot to him. So this is going to be an over. You just need, like you said, one catch. So I expect this to be over.
Yeah. And this next number, which, okay, it hasn't moved since I looked at it. We got DJ Dallas, total rushing yards, 34.5. Seems very low for a guy that rushed for 73 his first preseason opener. Also feels somewhat like a trap, but then there's this layer of, I don't even know who else Seattle has to run the ball. So do they try to preserve him, in case we also have Kenneth Walker out for a bit? I'm still going to take the over here. We've seen DJ Dallas. He can be pretty explosive when he gets that ball. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I think he's going to get most of the carries in this game, honestly. So I'm going to hit the over on this as well. I know Ken Walker isn't playing because of that hernia thing he reportedly is having. So obviously he's not going to play there. So I think they're going to give him a lot of carries in this game. So I expect DJ to get the over.
Yeah, love it. This is going to be awesome. I'm so happy that football is back. We are going to record at some point today. Every day is draft day, which will be lovely once we get through some technical stuff and my Wi-Fi stops being an absolute brat. You have something very exciting coming out. Do you want to tell people? Are we keeping it a secret?
No, not a secret. So I finished my fantasy guide and it is ready to be rolled out. So we're just, we're going to be rolling it out in the next couple of days. So be on the lookout for that. I'm really excited and really proud of it. And hopefully it helps people, win some fantasy leagues.
Love it. All right. Comment in the YouTube comments, reply on Twitter what your lock of the day is. We will have ours up from me, Dan, Jeff, and Jason. Seems like Jason is going to be on team under. I'm going to be on team over. Even though the money is telling me to follow Jason, I decided not to be as logical as him. Go download Champions Round, use the code DailyDozen, and I'll get you a free entry and try to kick our butts. Until tomorrow, when we will be back for tomorrow's slate. See you guys.
Yeah. See ya.